we started here. So that's great. So now we are here again coming back. Before we go there, so we just started the screen sharing, and I can share the screen with you as a whole entire desktop. I hope you are able to see. Are you able to see the screen? Please confirm.
Yeah, yes, sir.
That's great. So now you can see here that this is the program that what we are supposed to see its functionality, and then we go. And these things are very simple, not to be worried about anything. So you can see from here that this is the application for login, and this application is actually based on the SQLite. We can do external as well, but if the time permits, we will, because in the upcoming we will be trying to cover the few more advanced concepts, like suppose how to handle the emailing and how to handle your location as well, and the other important concepts. We have a very less amount of time, but we will try to overcome. We will try to cover as much as the good topics we can, so you can get the better benefit from it. So now this is actually the user registration and plus the login activity, and how it is going to be happen at the back end. We are using actually that is the SQLite, that what we are already using from our previous lectures. So that is the same thing. Database is the same thing. So why we use the same thing? Because this you can be used in your assignment, so it will help you to be on the same page, not going for the external databases at this stage. So anyhow, we're coming back to this screen, so you can see from here. So this screen has, when we run the program, or I can run it again, so you can understand it from the scratch. So here we go. So you can see from here, here is our Android emulator. And then the first screen, what it will appear, because it will contain the multiple screens. So the first screen is the user registration form. And here you can see the two options. The one option is about the register, and the other option is about the existing user. In case if suppose you are already user, then you click on this one, and then it will take you to the another activity. And then from there, you can be able to provide your credentials correctly, and then you will be able to log into the page. Now here it is not only simply what we can call that it is the registration and login, but there are so many things we need to consider. So these things are very simple, and you can now see in a couple of minutes. So what are the other things? Like suppose we need to provide the usernames and these things, but when we register the one user, so what happens if suppose the another user is going to register with the same name? So we need to control that as well, in case if suppose already user exists, so we may not allow the user to go for the registration again. So this is the check we need to check for that one. And not only means that one, but also other than that, when we are user is going to go for the login, so user is supposed providing the login ID or password wrongly, and then it must not be having permissions to log into the system. And at the same time, if suppose the user is trying to attempt anything wrong, then for each and everything we need to cover that. So how we need to cover that? Rather to discuss more, we just go to the demo, so it will be more clear for us. So from here we can see that we are supposed going to say the name of the user, GHA and GHI. I don't know why my machine is slow today. So we just put the password 12345 6, whatever the password you wish to push to apply. Then retype the password. So if suppose now we are typing 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you can see that actually the password what we provided, that is 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5, and 6. But when we are retyping the password, we are providing 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, but we are missing one digit intentionally. Why we are missing? We want to see that what it is, how it will behave with us. So you can see from here, when we say register, so the password not matching. You can see the toast below. I can press it again. When we press, so see here, password not matching. So it means that password is not matching. We have to provide the correct password. So this is how we provide the checking for everything. So now it's in case if suppose we provide the correct, and now Both of the passwords are matching 123 456 and 123 456. And now if suppose we go to register, then you can see that registration successfully are registered successfully. So the toast message we received, and now we are in other activity which is saying welcome to mobile application development class. So this is very good. It's done that we are means register the user and we are enter and we check if suppose we are providing the different password. So then it is also going to double check it that either it is means the password exists or not. Sorry, the password is matching or not. So in the same way, now we are going back. So now we know that we already registered this user. Now what we need to do, we are trying to attempt another, means without changing anything. So we notice that if suppose we are providing a wrong password, it stops or it intimates us. If we are providing the second point is if we are providing all the information correct, then it is registering us. Third thing is that we know that this register is already exists. Now we just register. So now what we are going to do, we are providing the same information in third case, and we are not changing anything. And now we are going to register, and then system should not allow us. And system should means explain us that this user already exists. So we just see we are not changing anything. We are going in third case to register this one. So you can see that user already exists. I can press again. User already exists. Please go for sign in. So it means that the user, what we are trying to register, that user already exists. So we are advised to go for the login, and we cannot register this user again. So this is the third means point where we are means making it sure that any registrant who is already registered, system does not allow the same user. So you can see here, I can means press it again. So user already exists, please go for sign in. But what happened in case if suppose we are going to make a changes in the username? So say for example, JHANJHI. So we just press one more I, double I. So now if we press, so it means now the username is different. And now if we register, so it will be user registered successfully and it is taking us to the system. So it means that this is also, we try to make sure that any user that exists already, system will not allow to go for that particular user. So you can see from here, now if you press, then again it will be the same message that this user already exists. So we cannot go for that particular part. Now the next case is that when we have the user, everything is there. Now we are trying to go for a login screen. So this is here for existing users. And keep remember that I didn't put any attention for it is beautiful low-code design, because we just try to consider the functionality when you will be using this one in your assignment. So probably you will be using according to your own need and according to your own design. So that's why it is not an important thing. So now we can go for the existing users to sign in. So when we reach here for the existing user to sign in, so now here we have the username and the user password. So in this you can see we need to remember JHA and JHI. This is our one user, another user is the I, and we are trying to press the 3 times I. We are repeating the 3 times I. So we are intentionally providing the wrong username. Then we are just trying to check how it is working. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We are providing a wrong username, but we are providing a correct password. So now when we see, now when we see the sign in, so it's saying invalid credentials. So I can remove this one so you can be easy to see the message. Sign in, so you see invalid credentials. Why invalid credentials? It means that something is wrong. So now what we need to do, say for example, we are providing the right username, but we are trying to not provide the right or correct password. And again, we are trying to check that either it work or not. So again, you can see that it is mentioning us that it is the invalid credentials. So either the username is incorrect or either the password is incorrect. In both of the cases, it is saying invalid credentials. So now invalid credentials, it means that either the password is not correct, either the username is not correct, and we did it intentionally because we don't want to give the right message maybe someone hacker is there. Anyhow, so now we are going with the correct one. So you can see from here. So now this username is correct and this password is correct, 12345 6. So when we say sign in, so now login successful, and we are taking it to another activity which is showing welcome to the mobile application development class, the same activity from where while we were registering. So we were taking it here because after successful registration we come here, and after successful login we come here. So now you can see, if suppose we go back and we try to log in with the other user we created, and when we press the sign in, so you will be able to see login successful. So it means that when we have the right credentials, right username, and right password, and then at that time we will be able to log in. Even if suppose we have anything wrong, then we cannot. And even if suppose there is, say for example, one more thing also, means if suppose we are providing nothing here, but just only providing a password, then we can see that please insert all values first. So we are advising to the user that please insert the full values. Without that, cannot. So for example, now we are writing the username correctly, but in case suppose we are missing any field, so what happened in that particular case, then we are saying please enter all values first. So now we are trying to even remove the both of the things. So again, if suppose we are going for this, so you can see that it is letting us know that please insert all the values. So you can see that we try to means cover from all of the aspects. And this is the same thing while we are going for the registration. So if we are missing the registration value from here and then saying register, so please enter all fields first. And this is the same. Say for example, we are saying, for example, ABC, and but we are missing from here, and means this value is empty. Then if we are going to register, again, please enter all the fields. So it means that any field is missing either in registration or either in the login, then system will means prompt us the message that please go for entering the value. So you can see from here, please enter the value. So we are providing the means checking validity that user is providing, filling up all the form, and this is the number one. And then we are means providing this validity that user is providing the name, so that both of the passwords are matching with each other. And the third thing is that is suppose they're providing correct password, then if suppose the user already exists, then we are not allowing the user to log in. So user cannot go with the blank fields, user cannot go without matching the passwords, user cannot go with the existing users, user cannot go suppose for any field which is missing. So this is how means a comprehensive, you can see the login activity normally it is required for any of the application. So you can use this one for your application. Whoever is suppose means having the option for the login capability in his assignment, mostly you have, because during the presentation I noticed that's why we came for this solution. So now just see here before we go further. So you can see here that actually how many activities we have. Number one activity is this one, where we are having this form where we are filling up a form and we are registering. And once we are successfully registering, say for example A, and this is one and this is one. So this is the one of the activity, and the other activity is that is one after the successful registration, it is taking us to this one. So this is the second activity. And the third activity is the one where we are saying that we have already, user already exists. So we are saying, okay, this is the user and this is the password. So take us this. So this is the third activity. So it means in this, we are using three activities. And you remember, whenever we use the multiple activities, so how we can switch from one activity to other activity, intent concept is there. The intent is the one who can means help us to switch or jump to the other activity, and then we can start the activity. So that's what means we are doing here. So you can see login successful and everything is done. Now going back here, we'll take a few more minutes before we go for the presentation. So now we come here. So you can see from here, this is your code, and I'm just trying to open everything for you. So first, if suppose we are just going for your layout, so you will find that these are the three activities. Okay, so in the three activities, you can see that what these three activities are. Okay, and in the same way, if suppose we are going for our Java, so in the Java class files, you can see also that we have the four activities. So normally the activities what we have the same number of the it's design or XML part. But you notice here that the class files are the four. The class files are the four, but the activities are the three: main activity, login activity, and home activity. The fourth class file is the DB helper. That's what we done discuss in our previous both of the classes, and we discuss about the SQLite. So that is only the helper class which is helping us to create the database. And home activity, the activity where we are going after the login. And the login activity is that activity which is providing us the capability to provide the login details, credentials, so we can be able to go to the home activity. And the main activity is the first screen while we are running, which is providing us a user form. If suppose the user is not registered, so user can register him or herself, and then it can be able to go for the login. So this is how it's working. Now if suppose we start from here, we just start from the main activity. So this is the main activity. If we just click this one and we just place this one in the design mode, so you can see that this is how the username and user password, and this is the retype password and register an existing user. And if we just go for the split, so you can see from here we are using the relative layout. And after using the relative layout, what changes we did, the other code is the default code. We just added the padding just to make it beautiful. That's why we just added the padding. And then we have added the edit text boxes. So you can see from here, one edit text box, second and third, and the two buttons. So this is the same way, one edit text box, second edit text box, third edit text box, and the two buttons are here. That's all about the design. In the edit text box, what is new? Nothing new. We use the same concept what we normally use. One is we require the ID for this one, which is the username, and then this is the default for design pattern, how to match it, and this is the hint, and then this is only from the top where we are placing. For the second one, everything is the same, but only we need the one more thing, that where we need to place. So we just added this line that in the layout, we need to place it below to the username. The username is this one. So we are just trying to place below this one. Why? Because we are using the relative layout. So in the relative layout, we always give the reference from the previous control. So we are referencing from the previous control that please put this below to that particular control. So in the same way, if you just see for the edit text number 3, so you will find the ID, which is normally we use, and this is the default, and this is the hint only, and then this is the same margin what we are setting up, and then we are saying that just below to the password field. So this is the password field. This is the second one, and then we are just placing it this one here. So this is how we are just retype password is just below to the password, and password is just below to the name. This is how, very simple. Then we are going for the button. So you can see for the button as well that this is the button ID, means because for each of the control we have to have ID. These are the default, and this is the text appear on the button. And this is we are just adjusting the top margin, that how distance, how far it will be from the previous control from the top. And then we are just coming up saying, because this is also the relative model, relative layout, so we are suggesting that where to place. So we are saying that just place it below the whatever we call the password. So the password is this one, and password is this one, and this is the username. The same thing exactly we did for this one, only we changed this line. Why we change this line? Because we need to now place this button below this button, and for sure we need to change its caption, and for sure we need to change its what we call the button ID. So it's very simple. Okay. Now, if we just go for the login activity, so in the login activity, you can see that these are the buttons. If I show you the design first, so you can see that these are the two edit text boxes, and one is the button. So this is very simple. Even what we did, we can copy and paste the controls what we already have from the main activity main. So from here, we can copy these means controls, the one of the button and edit text box, and then we can place it into the login one. So in the login one, you can see from here, we just change, there was the username. So here we just say username one. The rest is the same username. The caption is username, and where we are placing from 80. And for the second one, this is 80 with respect from the top. The second one, it is with respect to the previous one. So that's why we are saying it's a 50, and also we have to place below the username one, and username one is this one. The same thing for this button. So this is the button sign in. So you notice here, we even copy paste from there. So we just place here one and one because we cannot keep the same names. IDs cannot be the same. So we just put the one here, and the same thing for here. Button for sign in, and also we press the one. So here is the text, and this one, just to simply change from that one, and also just to realize us that these are the things controls which belongs to the login line. We can come up with anything else, no problem. So now you can see from here that we are placing this one below the password one. So here is the username, here is the password. So below this one, we are placing this control. So that is done for the login screen. The third screen is actually the home screen. You remember, in the home screen, we are not supposed to do anything. We are just trying to look for a message for the user where we are saying welcome to the mobile application development class. So in this, you can see we didn't change anything. We just apply the padding like what we did for the previous board. And then this is the ID. For sure, we need the ID. For this edit text box, only the edit text box we are using, and we put the layout margin from top to 50 because we are trying to bring it in the center. So we just set the gravity to the center, so the text will be appear in center, and we make whatever the message here, and we change its style, that how it could be, and then that is the only thing, and we also put this in the relative mode. So these all are the three actually things what we are doing for this XML part. Now, if we suppose to go for our classes, so you can see from here, from where you wish to start, we can say, for example, if we start from the main activity, so you can see from the main activity, not to be worried, it is simple. Huh? So in the main activity, suppose we just start from the top. So you remember this is our main activity class, and we just initialize the variables. What variables are? Edit text, username, password, and repassword. So do remember this is something which is actually for the registration form. Then we go for the button sign up and sign in because we have the two buttons. One is for sign up, it means which is user are already exists, then go for sign up. And if it is for sign up, if suppose the new registration, and that button, and sign in if suppose the user already exists, so they can go for that part. And this is for the DB helper. You know that why we require this one, because we need to use for the DB helper. So the simple we can see from here that here we just map them, initialize them by using the find view by ID. So you can see the username. We know that this is the edit text, and password and repassword. We should just call them r.id.username and password and everything. We did the same thing for the button as well. So you can see for here, sign up and sign in for both of the buttons, button sign up and sign in. And then here we can see that we are using, because the DB as well. So the DB new DB helper for this. And then we have call now for registration, because this is first we are going for the registration, and we will go for the other buttons as well. So you can see from here. First, when we click, the user will click the sign up button. So for sure, that's why we need to call the click listener on click listener. So sign up, and this is on click listener. And inside, we have created the three variables. Why we created the three variables? Because those are the three fields: username, password, and repassword. Because we need to text the text from that. We need to get the text. So you can see these all are the string types, and the variable names are like suppose user, pass, and repass. And then we just map them, username that get text and convert to the string. So we did this for all of them. And then we are coming here. Once we get the text from all of them, so you remember, if suppose we are not filling up a form and the other checks we applied, so you can see from here that how these checks are. They're very simple. So you see from here, so here we are checking after getting text from these all three controls, from the username, from the password, and from the repassword. So here you can see that we are checking it that either the user is means keeping the any form empty or not. So you can see from here, if the user dot equals is empty, or password dot equal is empty, or repassword dot empty. So it means any field, if suppose this is active and means empty, then we are just sending a toast message to the user that please enter all the fields. So you notice that we will means giving a message to the user that please enter all the message. So this is how it is here. And then this is not the only one. We are checking in else. We are saying in case if suppose the password is not equal to the repassed. So you remember it was checking the password with the retype password. So we are making sure that if the password not equals to means repassword, then we what we need to do, we need to means have the method boolean check user. So what it will do, it will means check the user, and then if it is false or if it is correct. So in both of the things we are trying to means compare. So initially we are comparing with the one with the usernames, and then we are comparing with the means password name. And if suppose everything is correct and each and every information is coming correctly, then we are saying registered user successfully. So this is the how the toast is appearing that now the user is successfully. So when the user is going to be registered successfully, it means not only this toast message, but now we have to take that user, particular user, to the other activity. So that activity is the home activity. So you can see from here that here we have the intent. So intent is the concept which can help us to jump from the one activity to the other activity. So we created intent here, and we are saying get application contact for the home activity. So you can see from here, this is the home activity dot class. So we just call that one. Else, if suppose this is not the case, then it means anything is wrong or anything is means not successful. So we can see the toast message will be appearing that the registration is failed and it is not done. So this is how we are managing. So you can see that this is means very simple. And then again we are putting in the means as bracket just to check that in case if suppose the user is already exist or not. So if it's not successful, so what could be the reason why it is not successful? So it can go and check. So possibly the user already exists. So then in that particular case we can give a user the means toast message that user already exists. Go for the sign in again directly. And what happened in case if suppose password is not matching? So we just put the else with this block, so we can see that password is not matching. So this is very simple. In the main activity, you notice that how it is required. And then when we are coming to the sign in, so this is when we are signing and sign in is successful. So for any time whenever we are going to click, so all the time we need to call the on click listener. So in this, if it is successful, we just call the intent. So intent can go to this activity and we can provide the name of the activity. So you can see from here login activity.class, and then we are just starting activity. So it means that whenever the user from the registration form, if they are clicking on the existing users already, just go for sign in. So once they click this one, so the intent will take us to the that particular activity where we can be able to start our activity. So this is all about the code from the main activity. Now, if suppose we go to the login activity, so you can see from here the login activity. So in the login activity, you can see that again, what controls we have in the login. We have the username, we have the password. So you can see those all things we initializes here. So we are saying edit text, username and password, and the button, which is for the login one, and DB helper, we initializes here. And then in the same way, we map them. So you can see looking by find by ID, find view by ID. So this is for the username, this is for the password, and the same thing is happened for the button. So 100% same. So now when we press the button login, so whenever we press so, for that we need to have the click listener. So in the click listener, when we means take them, So we need to create the two variables, string variables, to get the information. So you remember in the main activity we created, so just see it is 100% same. So here we created everything, and here we created the three variables, because in registration form we have the three values. But in the login form, we actually not have means other values. We have only the two values. So that's why the same thing we created here. So we can means get the text and converting to the string. Same thing we are going to check here. So you remember that in if we suppose go to the main activity class, so in this you can see that when we apply this if user equals to means empty for this field, empty for password, and empty for this one. But because here we have only the two fields, so we are just putting applying only for the two fields, and then we are means appearing going for the toast message. We are saying that please insert all the values in case if suppose empty this or either this one is empty. And then again we are doing the same boolean checksum, and then we are checking about the username and the password. And if we are saying that if they are both are the true, then we are saying login successful. So they are going to compare username and password. If both are means true, then it is giving us the successful login successful message. And if suppose login successful message, for sure, then in that particular case we need to take it to the destination activity. So the same thing we are doing here. Again, we need intent whenever we go to jump from one activity to other activity. So you can see from here that we are jumping from this. So this is the intent we just call, and which activity we are going to call, which is the home activity dot class. And else, in case you suppose this is not the case, so it means the traditionals are wrong, either anything. So what happens that the text message will be there, toast message will be there, that the invalid traditionals. So it's very simple. Now, if we go for the home activity, so you remember that we didn't did anything in the home activity. We just means put a one design that welcome to your class, whatever we can call means mobile application device class. So a development class, sorry. So you can see here we didn't. This is the only default code. We didn't make any changes because here we don't have any functionality in that one. So we are just going for that particular part. Now the DB helper, this is the means common class, as you know that this we required always, and this is very common because this is the one where we means structure, design our database and tables and everything. So this is very important. So you can see, and this is the same thing that what we discussed in our means previous lectures while we were having the code operations and creating the login and user, inserting the data and these things. So, but again, we are just going quickly with this one. So you can see from here that in this one, we have what we are going to create. So we have the DB helper, and always the same thing, we just extend with the SQLite helper class. And in this, we are having created a one method, static final string DB name, and the DB name is what? That is the login.db. And then we have the context, the same thing, 100% that what we use. So here we provide our database name that what we are going to create, and this is null, and this is the version. The version is the one. So here we are just going to means on create what we are supposed to do. We are going to create a table. So you can see from here SQLite database. So what we are doing, that this is the MyDB. The MyDB and execute the SQL query, and then there is the query, create the table and username and password. So this is we means place as a primary key, and this is the password. This is for the login. And then we are going ahead. We are going on upgrade method. What we are supposed to do, so we can say execute query, drop the existing. So 100% same that what we done in the previous. So we're going for the next, which is the insert data. So now you can see from here the Boolean method insert data. So it is the string user and the string password. Both things are here. So we are going for that to means open the database in the writable mode. So you know that in writable mode we will be able to read and write, but specifically we can write inside. And how we can write? So remember last time we also discussed with the help of the content values. So that's why we need to create a content value, and then we means pass the values by put content value put username and the password. Both of the things we just pass that one, and then after doing this, what we need the result for sure. So we created the long result, and in this result, what we are doing, we are inserting these values, the user and the content value, whatever we have, and here we are just checking that result is equal to -1, return then false. What do you mean by the -1? In case if suppose there is nothing at the abstract level, you can understand like this. So we are saying if false, and else if it is means there is some value, so it can return as true. So you can see the two more methods here. One other method which is the Boolean check username, and this one is the check username and password. So you need to understand it why these are two. So here we are just checking the username. Here we are checking the username and the password both at the same time. So you can see from here the same thing. For this, we need to, whenever we need to do any operation with the database, we need to make it means get writable. Otherwise, we will not be able to do that. So for that, you remember we use the cursor. So we are going for a cursor. We are providing a query select to static from the user's table name, where the username is what new string, and what we are passing that value. We are passing the username. So here you will see that we are passing the username and the password, because here we are checking for the two things, username and the password. So we are saying if cursor get count is greater than 0, so it means something is there, so it can return the true. Otherwise else, if nothing is empty, so there's nothing, so it can return the false. So you can see this is the same 100%. Everything is same. We make it writable. This is same. We run the query. Only here we are passing one value, and here we are passing username and password, and this is the same thing. Everything means returning value true in case of suppose it is greater than 0. Otherwise, it will be returning false. So that's all about this activity. You can see from here everything we try to explain to you, and it's very simple. Lecture is recorded. We can upload the link as well. You will be able to see, and now we can run it again, so you can see its functionality. That's what we already had a demo. So you can see from here that now this is running your application. So we can run the application. We can say now the test user, and the password is 123, and password is 12. Means we already checked, so we are not going for so many things. So you can see password not matching. So okay, 3 register, successfully registered, and we can go for the test existing user. So we can say the test user. So this is test user, and then we are saying 123, and then we are saying go for the sign in. So it is saying login successful, and we reach here, and we can also try our previous user as well, which was GHANGHI, if I'm not wrong, and 456, if I'm not wrong. Otherwise, yes, login successful. So this is how means this can be done very easily. So wish you best of luck. This is just a token for you, or it's very simple, and then try to explain as you as well. So now we can go for the attendance first, and then we can request to that particular group to go for the presentation. So please make your devices ready to go for the attendance. So here we go. The whole desktop is shared with you, so it is easy for you. You can see the attendance. So here is the code. This is the code K94R. Here we go. I can again, it is visible to you, but again we can copy. Oh wow, that's great. Already 7 done. That's great. That's great. But for you can paste it. So this is, here we go. Yes, so there we go. And we can stop recording now.